Hey everyone, thank you so much for all the great work that you're doing right now for kids during this wild and crazy time. We just wanted to spend a few minutes to talk about some big ideas about zooming in for quarantine students. So zooming in is another kind of way or a term for what we've called before as combo teaching for quarantine students. You may prefer one or the other, but essentially it's what we're doing right now for many of our students who have to quarantine, or for a COVID or a medical related situation. They are blended students who can't attend at school. Zooming in might be maybe a more friendly way to think about it, because it certainly helps us to simplify what we're doing for those students. We're providing them with a Zoom to see, and then also providing them with some audio so they can hear what's going on in the room. As we've started this and we recognize that this is a new thing, yet another new thing, we thought first and foremost it'd be helpful just to kind of clarify expectations about zooming in for quarantine students. I think that one of our greatest assets as educators is our belief that we can really do anything and be everything for our kids. And sometimes though we put too much expectations on ourselves and go beyond certainly what can kind of be helpful at times. So instead of maybe thinking about the right expectations about zooming in, maybe it'd be better instead to think about having kind of more reasonable expectations about zooming in. So just as a quick analogy and by example, we can talk about going to Disneyland, and you can imagine going to Disneyland as in this picture with your 7 young children. So when it comes to having reasonable expectations, you may come to Disneyland expecting to go on every single ride, to not have to wait in line or for more than 10 minutes, to not hear any of your 7 young children complain or cry or whine. You may even expect to sit down, have a nice quiet meal, and not be overcharged for that meal. But if you went in with those expectations, you'd probably be pretty disappointed. I know that I would. And you'd be feeling really frustrated and probably really overwhelmed and never ever want to go to Disneyland again. But with more reasonable expectations, you might feel a lot better. Some reasonable expectations for this family, if you were them, might be just going on a few rides, and maybe expecting that your children will probably complain and not get along, and maybe a reasonable expectation would that you would be frustrated sometime in that day, and maybe one hope or reasonable expectation would be maybe just one good picture, a family picture on that fateful Disneyland trip. But hopefully you would leave and go through that experience having kind of more of those reasonable expectations, and put that pressure off and really release some of that pressure as you go in, having not over expectations, but reasonable expectations that, right now especially, are so needed. So in terms of having those reasonable expectations, I thought we would talk about what zooming in is not. And we've talked a lot about this, but we think it's really important just to clarify what it's not. And so first and foremost, it is not an expectation that students who are zooming in will be having regular and ongoing interactions really with you or with the other students that are inside of the classroom. This might feel really hard to do, but again, zooming in students shouldn't be part of the every classroom interaction involved. In fact, there may be times where they're feeling not necessarily a part of what's going on, because they can only see and hear what's going on. This is also, of course, not a reason for students who just don't want to come to class to not to come to class. Students who should be zoomed in, again, are those who have a medical note, or who are required to quarantine or isolate due to a COVID-related reason. This is not an option for kids who just don't want to come to class, maybe don't want to take that test on that day. Those students should be coming to school. This is also not the same as remote teaching. So before we came on campus, each of you was engaging in really specific and deliberate practices, because all of your students were at home, and you were planning for and building in great strategies and opportunities for learning at home. And this is not the case. Certainly if you're zooming in a student, you should continue to have that primary focus on your students that are in front of you, that are inside of the classroom. And there's no expectation that you would be, two teachers at once doing remote teaching and blended teaching. The focus is for you to be a blended teacher and, of course, to provide a level of access for the students who are at home, who are Zooming in. And based off of your comfort, this is not a reason for you to be always, tied in front of your screen. Now, we acknowledge that, for many of us, being in front of a screen is fine. But if you wanted to, walk around your classroom safely, of course, interact with your students who are in class and in front of you, having a zooming in student or students doesn't have to be a reason for you to be up in front of your screen for those students to see you. And finally, zooming in is definitely not an expectation that we're providing, a full camera view into what's going on into the classroom, to see you standing, working with other students and teaching, as well as to see other students as well. So that's what zooming in is not. And what zooming in is, which I've really referenced, is just that main focus on providing a level of access for the students who are at home to be able to hear you talk as the instructor, and for that student to be able to see what the other students are seeing in that classroom display. Again, just to reiterate, this is not a full view into the classroom, nor is it that the student will be seeing and hearing everything that goes on in the classroom. Not at all. Zooming in is also, of course, the ability to participate in assignments, those assignments being, in Canvas or delivered through a different means, but participating in a class doesn't necessarily mean that those students will be, engaging in discussions or participating or interacting with you on an ongoing basis, or certainly that students' peers or colleagues. And so, zooming in definitely is not perfect, and I think that at this point in time, we are living in very imperfect times. But given that it's imperfect, it's okay that it's not. But it is definitely one means and one way for us to, really just provide some level of connectedness to for that student, so they can continue to engage in what's going on in the classroom, both academically as well as to maintain that important kind of social emotional connection and feel while they're not able to come to class. So finally, I guess I would just encourage everyone, as we embark upon this and try things out and troubleshoot and probably experience some frustration, just to be gracious with yourself. Again, hoping that having more reasonable expectations for yourself is something that's not only good for you, but of course still good for our students who are zooming in. And I would of course just encourage you to continue to reach out to, of course, your site tech for technical assistance, but also to your colleagues. I think that every educator in our district is approaching this in a new and a different way, and we can all certainly learn from each other. So I hope this was helpful. And that we're kind of able to have a set, not necessarily the right expectations, but just more reasonable ones. Thank you.